know that your brain actually rewards you for worrying? It's like your brain puts a little gold star on your forehead every time you overthink something, even though it's keeping you miserable, because we all know worry isn't solving anything. It just keeps us stuck. I'm Suzette Bray. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and today we are diving into why your brain loves to worry, and more importantly, how to break that cycle once and for all. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the science behind why our brains love to worry so much. Our brains are kind of like super sensitive smoke detectors. Now, back in cave people days, when we were always in danger of getting eaten by a saber-toothed tiger, this high level of sensitivity, this always being on edge, being on high alert, kept us alive. But now we react on high alert as if we're in danger towards emails and text messages and awkward interactions. But that's not dangerous. And our brains, every time we worry, give us a little dopamine hit. It says, "Yay, good job. You're doing something." Because our brains think that worrying helps us. But the problem is that our brains aren't helping us when we worry, when we can't do anything about the situation. It's just like that super sensitive smoke detector. And every time you put a frozen pizza in the oven, it goes off. Nothing's on fire. The other thing to think about here is that worry starts to become automatic. So imagine this: you've got a presentation at school or work tomorrow, and your brain says, "What if I mess up?" And then it says, "What if I trip? What if I forget my slides?" And before you know it, you are starring in a disaster movie written and directed by your own brain. And I got to tell you, brains are really creative screenwriters. They can come up with all kinds of stuff, but none of it's real. And your brain loves spinning these stories because it thinks it's keeping you safe. And here's the frustrating part: the more you worry, the more your brain doubles down on this behavior. It's automatic, and it does not have to stay that way. I'm going to show you today two simple ways to start to break free. Okay, so our first technique for how to stop worrying is called thought diffusion. And it's a way of learning not to believe everything you think. So let's try this together. I want you to think of a thought that made you worry today. Something like, I'm going to mess up that phone call that I need to make later. Now, say out loud, "I'm having the thought that I'm going to mess up." Did you kind of feel that shift? You're no longer right in the thought, you're observing it. That's called diffusion. And think about it as kind of like defusing or getting unstuck from a thought. Now, the next step is I want you to take that thought and I want you to put it on a leaf and imagine that leaf floating down a stream. You're going to watch it float by. Bye bye, thought. So, our next technique is having a scheduled time for worry. The idea here is that you're going to teach your brain when it can worry and when it's not useful to. So what I'm going to ask you to do is start to schedule that stress. Set a timer for 10 minutes, get that phone out and set the timer. And during that time, I want you to write down every single thought that pops into your head, no matter how big, no matter how small, no matter how bizarre. And when the timer's up, you're done. No more worrying outside of that time. So if your brain tries to throw a worry at you later, like, what if my cat secretly hates me? And truthfully, I've got cats. If the food bowl is empty, your cat probably does hate you a little bit. You say, "Sorry, not now. I'm going to worry about that tomorrow during my scheduled worry session." I kind of think of brains as like overprotective parents. They want to keep us safe, but they come up with some really ineffective ways to try to do that. With these two techniques, thought diffusion and worry time, you can start retraining that brain of yours. Practice them every day for a week. I promise over time it will get easier. And I want to let you know that one of the reasons I became a therapist was that I found therapy and these sorts of techniques really, really helpful in helping me manage my sometimes way over the top anxiety. My worries used to take over everything: my work, my relationships, my sleep, kept me from doing things I really wanted to do. But once I started using these tools, I realized something really, really powerful. I don't have to believe everything my brain throws at me, and neither do you. So, what's that one worry that's running around in your brain, and what works for you to step away from it? Drop it in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.